Well, hello and welcome. Bob Kimsey here again, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this first presentation about growing your business. And I want to emphasize the importance of this first video where I'm going to really kind of change the way you look at your business. Now, before we get started here, just a bit about me and my company. And really, I do hope not to bore you to tears, but just kind of want to set the stage for this presentation. Now, I want to assure you the information comes from someone who walks the walk every day. The material I'll be covering in this presentation is what my company does every day. Now, I've been teaching and consulting entrepreneurs and business owners on how to start, market, and scale their businesses for more than 25 years now. I've taught or consulted literally thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs all over North America with our Dare for Success and our Webigo business development programs. Now, many have turned their businesses into multi-million-dollar companies as a direct result of our help. Now, I don't tell you this really to toot my own horn, but I think it is really important that you know that my company and I have worked with such well-known companies as Hyatt Hotels, Hilton Hotels, Cisco Systems, Quest Communications, which is really now CenturyLink and A.T.I.O.N.S, Sanyo, Panasonic, and a number of other Fortune 100 and 500 companies. Now, the information I'll be providing is not just for new entrepreneurs or startups. Experienced entrepreneurs and business owners will gain a completely new view of growing their business. You can also expect a number of positive changes that will positively impact your life as well. Big promises, I know, but stay tuned then so that you can then really decide how valuable this will really be for you. Now, the point is, whatever your goals are, whether you're looking to start a new career or build a six-figure business, or you want to grow your existing business beyond where you might be today, whatever your goals may be, I know I can help make it a reality with what I'm about to present to you. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I want to do a little housekeeping and suggest that you turn off all the possible distractions like cell phones, TVs, send the kids off to grandma's and find a quiet place to watch this presentation. Now, be sure to grab a pad and pencil and take notes, or if you can, come back later and watch the video again. But whatever you do, pay close attention, as I will be providing some real business gems that will make your coming year a beyond unbelievable. Now, some of you may even be watching this after the new year because we plan on keeping this up for a little while. But it's even more important to pay attention because your incredible year has only just really begun. Okay, so it's meat and potatoes time. I'm going to help you with two most important things in your business: getting customers and growing your revenue. Now, be sure to watch the video all the way through, as I have an incredible free gift for you at the end. Something that's really going to help your business. So you want to make sure and watch all the way to the end, and we'll give you instructions on how to get our free gift. Now, I have to do the old disclaimer bit here so that we'll make our attorneys happy and, of course, keep Uncle Sam happy as well. And say, while we have been doing this for a long time, we are really good at it. You must understand, this is not something that is a push-button solution, and it does take time and commitment to do. Not everyone who watches this video will get the same results. Some will do well, and others will have little or no success at all. But what it really all boils down to is your commitment and what you're willing to put into it. We can provide the hammer and the nails, but you have to make the effort to drive the nails. Okay, with that said, it is amazing to realize that 80% of the first or second year entrepreneurs and small business owners will either fail or will make less than what is considered the poverty standard. And yet most will go into business with grand expectations of building $1 million business. Now, it's really unfortunate that so many will not make it, and in most cases it's really not their fault, but the fact that they are not trained properly or have a success framework. Most entrepreneurs and small business owners are totally overwhelmed with the complexities of running a small business. And many of them didn't have any idea it was going to be as tough as it is until they actually got into it. They came into it with these grand expectations. Now, with changing laws and regulations, most are simply trying to keep up with the rules and regulations. When it comes to the marketing aspects, many are working in a fog. There is a ton of information about marketing online in books, tapes, and all sorts of what we call misinformation. But most of it just does not work, or it's total information overload. If you're struggling along, bouncing from one idea to another, and using many of these tactics, you're probably going to end up in that 80% area. Unfortunately, so many people spend so much time trying to understand all of this new stuff that they don't have the opportunity to spend the time that's important, and that's working on what it is that they do, the one thing that they're good at. You know, we see most entrepreneurs and small business owners spending amazing amounts of money on creating fancy websites that end up providing little value because they're simply fancy brochures, and they miss the mark when it comes to actually marketing. We see entrepreneurs and small business owners posting their business on Facebook or Craigslist with the hope of generating clients or buyers, but really getting very few actual results from a whole lot of effort and sometimes a lot of expense. These are just a few of the many elements that cause entrepreneurs and small business owners to get depressed and discouraged about their business or their business career. You know, when you first decided to get into business, you probably figured you were good at what you do and thought being in business for yourself would be far better than working for someone else. But then all of a sudden, you're now expected to figure out all those other new things here. When you start out in this business, there are so many elements. Most business owners just don't know where to begin. They don't have a success framework. They don't know where they should be putting most of their energy. There is just so much to do, so little time, few resources. In many cases, not a lot of support from peers or sometimes even your family and friends. First couple of years can be overwhelming and difficult. Now, I like to compare it to a puzzle box. Imagine you have this big blank white puzzle box delivered to you with no manual or finished image. When you opened it up and found 2,000 puzzle pieces inside, and that's it, you got 2,000 pieces that are blank, and you have no idea what the finished puzzle is supposed to look like. So how effective would you be at putting the puzzle together? I would say that you would have less than zero chance of putting the puzzle together. Now, most entrepreneurs and small business owners have about 0% chance of making their marketing work because they have no instructions or no image to go by. Marketing is not a one-size-fits-all that can be implemented the same every time. It takes a lot of work and a lot of the correct strategies to make it all come together. Things change as time goes on, so strategies have to change. The way that you approach things have to change. The evaluation and the process that you go through has to change. So when you started your business career, you probably envisioned this $1,000,000 business that, like you see on TV. You know, everybody on TV is successful. You had no idea how it would eventually work, but you had grand ideas and goals. So now here you are, and you're hearing all sorts of ways to put your puzzle together with no real direction. Just everyone telling you to try this piece or try that piece. You keep moving all the pieces around, but the results are not up to par with the time and effort that you really have been putting in, and you're slowly fading into that 80%. Now, I can promise you this. When we are finished here, you'll know exactly how you're going to put a picture of your puzzle and how your business is going to look. Now, in our various workshops, we talk about the main reasons most entrepreneurs and small business owners fail in business. But I want to hit on just a couple of the real basic ones. Low sales or lack of cash flow. This is pretty easy to understand. If you're not getting any business or making sales, you probably can't afford to stay with it for very long. And if your cash flow is less than none, you're not going to be able to gather the monies that you're owed. So consequently, bills tend to come in faster than the cash. So cash flow becomes a big issue. You have lack of experience. If you don't know what you're doing or figure out how to do it, you probably won't make it. And that can be in many parts of your business. You could be an expert at what it is you do, whether it be a mechanic or you could be a hairstylist or whatever it is. You could be the best there is. But if you don't know the other parts of the business and how to make it all come together, then that lack of experience in those areas can have a huge effect on the success of your business. Competition. You know, you never know. You might be in a market that is there's just everybody and his brothers in it. You know, one of the biggies that we see today is in the coaching business. My goodness, there's so many coaches out there and so many different niches that they're in. So the competition you might think is really stiff, and you have too many other similar businesses that your market that just really makes it really difficult. And in some cases, some of these people have a lot more experience than you do. So how do you really compete with that? So competition can be a real troublesome to a new business owner in particular. Insufficient capital. You have to be willing to and able to invest in your business, whether it's for marketing or training. You have to invest when needed. Now, I don't encourage you when I talk about insufficient capital and how, going out there and just buying everything that came along and hoping that you're going to learn about it all. You can't do that. You know, you'd spend all your time trying to learn about everything and actually not getting business done. So you want to hang on to the cash that you have. Don't be looking to spend it in every little place that you think you need it. You need to really be specific about where your capital is spent. Insufficient funds, if you don't have enough to really do the investing, then it can be a real issue. Poor exposure. If you're not in front of your market, you're not going to get the leads, which will result in no sales. So we're kind of back to the first one. Here's another one, poor inventory management. You know, this one kills more business owners than you would think. A lot of people think, well, gee, if I got all this inventory, how can I lose? I've got all this stuff to sell. But if you have inventories but are not effectively managing and marketing those inventories, you'll slowly see your business fade away, either from canceled orders or no referrals or even unhappy customers. Now, in later programs, we're going to show you how Walmart uses an incredible business process to be able to control its inventories. Now, you can imagine with all the inventory that Walmart orders, how, keeping track of all that must be incredible. But, that's where they make their money. It's not a matter of the fact that they have lots of stores out there and they sell lots of stuff. It's how they manage their inventory. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in an upcoming program. So, again, inventory control or inventory management is a very important aspect of your business, and understanding how all that works is really critical. So, big area. Overinvestment in fixed assets. Now, we see business owners spend an amazing amount of money on fancy websites, software that is too hard to operate, or they just don't understand it, but it sounded like a great thing when they spent all the money for it. Expensive ad placement in resources that just don't work, and online web properties that offer leads and other marketing solutions, many of which really produce minimal results. Bouncing from one marketing solution to another, trying every shiny object that you're presented with, or trying everything at once with no plan. You're doing Pinterest, Facebook, Craigslist, Instagram, Periscope, LinkedIn, YouTube, and I could go on all day with all the tech stuff. But with no plan, it is all a waste of your time and money. While I have to say all of the aforementioned sources do work, but if you don't have a plan of how to use them effectively, you're just killing your business with lots of technology. Now, if any of this is resounding with you in your business, then I think I may have your attention. As you go through any of our training programs or workshops or work with us, you'll notice that we put out a tremendous amount of information on building a strong foundation for your business. That means a strong foundation on being good at what you do, or understanding the technical side of your business, the laws and ethics of the business. But you also have to establish a strong foundation of the marketing and business side of running a successful business. This is what we do. Now, every successful business from Fortune 500 companies down to the little mom and pop business succeeds because they are good at marketing their business. And they don't do it just because it's fun. They do it to get more business and generate more revenue. You should be in business not just because it's fun, but to make a profit. You need to be paid for your time and effort. Bottom line, the business with all the customers makes all the revenue. That's what we show you how to do. Everything we will be discussing on the rest of this video is about getting customers. It's the lifeblood of your business and the guarantee that you won't fall into that 80%. It's about leads and the correct way to get them. It's about proven systems and frameworks that work. We have worked with hundreds of business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals making 6- and 7-figure incomes because we're able to show them the correct way to find and nurture more leads, satisfy clients, and grow their business. Now, as we said earlier, the web is full of confusing and misinformation and too much of what we call marketing noise. You probably feel that you're drinking from a fire hose with all the technology and information overload. This information is just what you need to clear the fog and provide a simple and systemized approach to growing your business and establishing yourself as a successful entrepreneur and business owner. Many business owners build their website and expect that it's going to convince people to use their business. They sit around and wait for people to contact them. They spend on resources like we mentioned earlier and then figure, well, it doesn't work, so I just won't do it again. It's not that it doesn't work. It's because it's not being used effectively or at the right time. The truth is you have to have a plan, a framework, or a system that spells out how, when, and why. You need to know how to get from where you are now to where you want to be. For every business owner, there's a point where you are presently at, and that might be a point where you're, kind of frustrated, confused with technical overwhelm or uncertainty, lack of time, or even money, and all you want to do is get to your goal or where you envisioned your business to reach. And all you really want is a sustainable flow of qualified clients coming into your business using an automated system that generates predictable outcome so that you can live the life you want. You'll be able to spend quality time with your family. You can build your business because you have a framework to follow. Your puzzle will have a clear picture to help you put all the pieces together. Now, when you get started in business, you're given half of the tools needed to do the job. You learn all the rules and regulations, and you possibly get any required licensing or certification that is required, but that is only half of the tools that you'll need to succeed in your business. If you have the right business frameworks, you'll then have the other half of what you need to drive your business to where you want it to ultimately go. Now, once you have all the right tools, all you will need from that point forward will be the right mindset to understand how to look at your business and how to grow exponentially instead of incrementally. How to stop all the noise and do the right things in the right order to get from where you are right now to where you want to be, and that is what this whole presentation is about. We provide a proven, simple 3-step process, but it's not a gimme. You have to work at each part, but the beauty of it is it's a complete success framework, and all you have to do is follow the steps in order. So in the upcoming presentations, I'm going to go through the entire 3-phase, what we call the actions plan. The plan begins with laying a solid foundation and understanding why entrepreneurs and small business owners don't succeed. Then we look at the 7 ingredients of a successful business, understanding who your ideal clients are, how to find them, and how to get them interested in working with you. Then I will discuss the importance of doing one thing and doing it better than anyone. I'll discuss what I call the authority sales process and why it's critical to your success, as well as how to build your authority. You'll learn what a lead magnet is, how to use it, and a follow-up system that nurtures your prospects into loyal long-term clients. In the final presentation, I will look at the actions environment and the tools needed for superior results. But you should understand that each step needs to be completed in order. Most entrepreneurs and small business owners start at the result stage, which is where they try to get people through their website or through social media. They are in effect sending traffic to an ineffective sales cycle before they have established a foundational priorities that will result in positive outcomes. We will cover how to build a powerful lead process by establishing your authority, and then you can begin to drive traffic with, again, a systematic framework. This information is going to show you the 3 things that you need to know in order to become a successful business owner. Know what to do by having a complete action framework so that you'll know how to do it, but more importantly, the action steps you'll need to get it done. Now, in order to reduce the overwhelm syndrome with all this information and make the assimilation far easier, I'll be sending each of the separate presentations one at a time. Each presentation will include some downloadable framework worksheets that will begin to take you through a complete actions plan. Now, below this video, you're going to find a link that says the foundation. Click on it to be taken to the next presentation and your free gift that we promised. Okay, I've gone on and on enough. It's time. Let's move on to the next one. I think that you've got an idea now of what we're talking about and how important it is to have those frameworks and have a real systematic plan of how to really build and grow your business. So I want to thank you for watching this presentation, and we look forward to you joining us in the next. Take care now, and we'll see you then.